How's everybody doing today? Give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand, man. Give yourself a hand. Hey, how's everybody doing? Listen. This is Father, starting over Father with a Dream podcast. Once again, give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. All the fathers out there, man, I appreciate everyone. If I didn't say, happy Father's Day was like 2 weeks ago. But hey, all you fathers out there, you guys doing it. And you guys doing your best and all that good stuff. But once again, I gotta get it's gonna be a hard message today. It's gonna be a hard message. I know you gentlemen out here working hard. So I want to chastise anybody. You gentlemen out here working hard. Some of you guys are doing the best you can do. Others of you ain't doing a motherfucking thing. Okay? So that's how we gonna start. A lot of you gentlemen out here working hard. But there's also quite a few of you are not doing a motherfucking thing for yourself or for your family. And I'm going to have to get to it. Listen, here's the thing, gentlemen. Here's the title. All right? It says, Fathers, it is not your child's responsibility. Fathers, it is not your children's responsibility to make your life better. I'll say it again. Fathers, it is not your children's responsibility to make your life better. I've seen too many. I was just watching on YouTube, like LeBron James, before there was a player named Lenny Cook that was like ranked number one before LeBron. I think he was a year before LeBron or something like that. He was ranked over LeBron, right? And I've seen it too many times because me coming from upstate New York, I've seen a lot of players come from New York trying to make it to college and things of that nature, and going to the NBA. And especially I'm from a place called Rochester, New York, and there's only been, I could probably count on maybe two hands how many players have made it to the NBA from where I'm from. But the thing is this, maybe you mentioned the story about the Lenny Cook. I've seen young men, like they were at back in the day, they had the Adidas ABCD camp. It was for the top basketball players in the country, basically. You get invited to this Adidas camp, and all the college scouts come looking for you and things of that nature. But one thing I've seen, just watching that video, I seen all these older men. Talking to Lenny Cook. Hey, I guess it might have been his dad or his uncles or whatever. I see a lot of these older men push these young, especially these teenagers, to go to the league, go to somebody's NFL, go to somebody's NBA, become a rapper, entertainer, singer, whatever, this, that, and the third, because they want their children to make their lives better. And I've seen this all throughout my life. I'll be 42 in September. I've seen plenty of, once again, here's the thing, gentlemen. Hold on, let me back up. I told you, gentlemen, I am no longer going to keep pointing a finger at this female. Oh, no. This is not Adam and Eve. Oh, this woman, no, gentlemen. It's us. Your children should not have to be in a place, be some type of celebrity, making millions of dollars for your life to be better. Why are you putting that responsibility on your son or daughter? I believe in the Bible, it says the parent are supposed to store up riches for their children. Let's rewind that. You guys can look this up for yourself. In the Bible, it says parents are supposed to store riches for their children. So why is it in today's day and age that we put so much pressure on our children to be great, to be in somebody's league, to be an actor, fashion model, whatever. They have to be great in order to make your situation. You were too lazy to fix yourself. They got to be great so they can fix your situation. Once again, that's backwards. Your children should not be. Well, here's the thing. Of course, you want your children to be great, whatever they want to do. But I've seen too many, especially me coming up, being from New York and things of that nature. I've seen too many parents. I'm gonna say fathers. Once again, I'm not gonna say the female. I'm gonna say you fathers. You guys put all this pressure on your sons to join to go to the NFL, to go to the NBA, to do this, to do that, to fix up your up situation. And that's not right. A child should be a child. Now, if your son wants to, if he's good in sports and things of that nature, and he wants to do that, then that's not a problem. Once again, I'm not chastising anybody. I'm not chastising you. Listen, your son or daughter got talent. Hey, and you see that talent, do what you need to do. But once again, that child shouldn't have to. Your child doesn't. Your child needs to be a child. A 16-year-old needs to be a 16-year-old. A 16-year-old doesn't need to be at 16 doing something somebody 3 times his age is doing at his age. A 16-year-old needs to be doing what 16-year-olds do. We put all this pressure on this 16-year-old to be great and do this and do that. You got to be, you got to be better than him. You got to be better than him. You got to be see everybody out here, but you got to destroy everybody because, you're trying to get to X, Y, and Z. Well, sir, pause. Let's rewind. So all that pressure, here's a kicker. All that pressure you put on your child. Sorry about that. All that pressure you put on your child to destroy everybody out here in this basketball court, to destroy everybody out here on this football field, to destroy everybody here in this competition. Why didn't you put that pressure on yourself? You put all this pressure on this young child to be great, to come out here and obliterate everybody. So eyes can be put on your child. So eyes can be focused on your child. So once again, why are you pressuring this child to go out here and be some type of Terminator on the basketball court, football court, rap battle? I don't know, whatever, acting. You want this child to be this super monster child so they can have all eyes focused on them, but you didn't put that same pressure on yourself? And I've seen way too many fathers. Once again, I'm not pointing the finger at the mother. I've seen way too many fathers do this to their children, especially their sons. You put all this pressure on him, but here's the thing. Hold up, that's why. Then we put the guilt on them. Because here's the thing. See, we put the guilt on them. And this is what I really don't like. You gotta, hey son, hey daughter, well, especially your sons, hey son, you gotta be in a certain position because, I raised you. Oh son, I raised you, so you need to do X, Y, and Z for me. What kind of shit is that? So you put all this unnecessary pressure, especially on your sons, to be a multi whatever, to fix up your up situation because you be an adult. Oh, I raised you and I did this, I did that. I can't stand that. Especially when you fathers put all this pressure on your child, then you turn around them and try to play the guilt game on them. Oh, because I raised you. What type of parent is that? Hey, son, I got 2 little girls. You think I'm going to tell my 2 little girls, hey, babies, you got to be somebody special because I sat there and raised you? oh, I went to Iraq in 2004, so you can have this roof over your house. So baby, you got to sit there and you got to make millions of dollars because I raised you. And I see so many children have resentment towards their parents, putting all this unnecessary pressure on you as a child to be great. So you got to come out here and you got to go and you got to do this. Now, once again, you want to be great and things of that nature, but not to a point so I can fix up his up situation. Why didn't you work hard? Why didn't you, father, work hard so your child, why didn't you work hard? All that pressure you putting on that child, why didn't you do it for yourself? Why didn't you bust your ass every single day? Why didn't you do that for yourself? Why didn't you do that for yourself? How did you let yourself get in this up situation in the first place? How? Oh, once again, okay. You didn't have a purpose for your motherfucking life. So now all of a sudden the light bulb comes on. Now you're putting all this pressure on your child to be great. You got, oh, no. Let's rewind. Now that's what it is. You got comfortable. You got comfortable. See, as long as you were doing better than everybody else in your mediocre vicinity, you were good. But then, you all of a sudden, sometimes, we start looking at magazines and we start, Instagram, and we see all these other people with these big cars and this, that, and the third. But you can't think, you haven't tapped into yourself to find that purpose. I tell you this right now, your purpose can get you to where you want to go, but you can't be scared. But now you push your dreams and your purpose and you don't have a standard, you don't have a vision for your life, you push that to the side. Now all of a sudden, here comes, now you're making families. You're making families, and now you're putting all that pressure on your child to make millions of dollars to fix your up situation as a man. So, hey, how people say you're living vicariously through your child. To me, that's a worthless man. If you are, quote unquote, vicariously living through your child, you are a worthless man. Yeah, I'm gonna say that with my chest. If you are living vicariously through your child, you are worthless, my friend. Putting all this unnecessary pressure on your child because you were too lazy to not fix your own problems. What happened to your dreams, sir? What happened to your vision, sir? What happened to your standards? Do you have one? No, but now all of a sudden your child has to be some type of Superman to fix up your up situation. Your child has to be some type of unicorn. Out of all these other kids that's out here doing X, Y, and Z, whatever they're participating in, your child has to be the unicorn, so they can get you out. Your situation. You putting all this unnecessary pressure on your child. Let a child be a child. If your child wants to go hard and be the greatest, whatever, then cool. Listen, we can work that out. But it's not an obligation. Once again, let's rewind that. It's not an obligation to your child to be great so they can fix up your up situation. It's not their obligation. My two daughters are not obligated to make millions of dollars so they can fix up my situation. They're not obligated to do that. Actually, I'm obligated to do that for them. What type of up world do we live in? Do our children are obligated to make money for the parents, but the parents are doing what? And I hear this all the time.
Oh, I did the best that I could do. I did the best that I can do. Woe is me. Woe is me as a father. I did the best that I could do, and nobody cared for me, and blah, 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 blah.
Man, shut the up. Hear too many times men talking about, oh, I'm a product of my environment. No, you are a product, excuse me, you are a product of the decisions that you made. The choices that you made, that's what you're a product from, sir. Your environment has nothing to do with you. You are a product of your up choices. Stop blaming your environment. Oh, I couldn't do X, Y, and Z because my environment. No, coward. You decided to conform to your environment. All of us, once again, everybody didn't come from the suburbs and this, that, and the third. Once again, I came from a middle-class family, but listen, Rochester wasn't a cakewalk. There was all types of stuff going on around me. And believe me, I wanted to sell drugs and stuff like that too, just like everybody else. Yeah, my people were Christian and things of that nature. But hell, I wanted to get out there and sell drugs and buy up the Tommy Hilfiger and what is it, the Sherlins and the Averexes and all that back in the day. Be some type of dope boy. Believe me, I wanted to do. I wanted to do that also. I wanted to do that also. But once again, that's I can't point the finger at anybody else. I can't point the finger at these people and somebody over here. Oh, my environment me up. Nah, you were just a coward. You take that coward mentality, then you putting that coward seed to a female. You bring children into this world. So what? They can be cowards also? Then you tell that same child that they gotta take care of you. I've heard that I heard that so many times, and that's up. I'm not talking about mothers. I'm talking about father. I heard fathers say, "Oh, you gotta take care of me." What the are you talking about? You're gonna tell your child you brought that child into this world, not having a purpose for your mother life. Then you'll tell that child that they need to take care of you because you were having sex? My friend, that wasn't planned. You were just out here busting a random nut. But then you're gonna tell that child, and I've seen a lot of times, a lot of you jokers out here busting all types of random nuts. Now all of a sudden, one of them kids decides to be somebody, and here come your ass come along. And all of a sudden, now you want to be a daddy because your son your son or daughter has a possibility to be somebody, to have their names in the lights. And all of a sudden, here you come. This how you sound.
Oh, hey, son, daughter. Yeah, this is your dad. Oh, this is your dad. Hey, I'm glad that you made something of yourself because I didn't want you to be like me because I'm so downtrodden and I so came to my community and my society. But I'm glad that you're doing better than me. Boo hoo. Boo hoo hoo. Matter of fact, if you could slide your dad a couple of dollars, I'm out here trying to fix myself up and create this business, even though I'm like 64. I know I'm still trying to get it together.
Man, shut the up. Don't nobody want to hear that bullshit, man. So you out here doing God knows what. Your child, one of your children, I've seen it so many times. I've seen me. I'm born in '81. I've seen it so many times. Fathers out here busting all types of random nuts. Now all of a sudden, here come your son, who once again, who has to be a man all of a sudden. He has to work like 15 times harder than everybody else because he has to get his whole family out the neighborhood. And here come your punk ass come along. Now all of a sudden you want to be somebody daddy because now because your son or daughter's on TV now. All of a sudden here you come.
Oh, hey, son. Yeah, man, I'm your dad.
And that's one thing I really hate. You guys are nowhere around through the struggle, and all of a sudden here come your child blows up. All of a sudden here come your ass. Now all of a sudden you talking about I'm your daddy now. And that's a parasite. I told you guys about these parasites. I don't care that the man call himself his father. That's not a father. If you were nowhere to be, if you weren't through the struggle, if you weren't there for any of those struggles, and here all of a sudden your son or daughter, they're making it big, doing whatever. Nah, man, you don't get to come back and all of a sudden, I'm your dad now. Because the only thing you want somebody to give you charity. You want somebody, you trying to be somebody's charity. This is why these young men and young ladies so mad at their fathers, because you were nowhere to be around. You out here, you're worthless. You don't have a purpose. You don't have a standard or SOP for your life. You don't have a vision for your life. You out here busting random nuts and whoever. Now all of a sudden, one of these kids make something of themselves, and all of a sudden, here you want to come around, begging and pleading and begging for your child to help you out. Oh, I'm your daddy. No, you not. I've heard it so many times. These kids call this man a sperm donor, because that's exactly what you are. You're just a sperm donor. Where's the inheritance for your children? Once again, I went through 3 months of homelessness in Atlanta. So guess what? My children don't have to go through any type of homelessness if they ever get here. When my children come to visit me, guess what? They're not going to be homeless because I went through that for them. They still got their YouTube channels, and they still got their merchandise. I carry that with me, and I'm building that while I'm down here in Atlanta. You think I'm around here in somebody's strip club? Oh, my children have to be famous in order to make me to move me out my up situation. So my children have to be great. They had to be famous in order for me to get out, for them to move me out my up situation. See, way too many men, you men are too comfortable in mediocrity. No purpose, no standard, no vision for your life. But all of a sudden, you're gonna put all this pressure on your child to be a unicorn, to be a Superman, a Superwoman. Oh, beat this little girl over here, or beat this little boy over here. Putting all that stuff in their brain so they can move you out your situation. But then you're gonna turn around and call yourself a man. Man, get the out of here. You got the nerve to call yourself a man. Putting all this man pressure on your child. Putting all this stuff in their head, and then want to hit them with the guilt. You gotta take care of your daddy and blah 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 blah. No, you just a bitch, man. Nobody want to hear that. See, way too many fathers doing that, man. Putting all this pressure on your child so they can be the next LeBron James, the next Michael Jordan, the next Beyonce, the next Whitney Houston, the next whatever. You putting all that pressure on them, then you're gonna make them feel bad because now they're getting recognized, and you sitting your there. You not working hard. You not doing nothing. You doing the same old every motherfucking day. You doing the same old every single day. But then you gonna put all this pressure on your child? So your child is supposed to. So the child is supposed to. Okay. So your child is supposed to do your job. Wow. So your child is supposed to be you. So you, my friend, are the child. But then you use the child, then you use the title of father to gain access to your child's. Yeah, man. You use the title of father to gain access to your child's riches, something that they worked hard for. You're going to use the title as father to make them feel bad so they can give you something. But you're going to turn right back around and do the same bullshit you was doing before. And every time, cool, they give you a little bit of money, you blow through that money, you're going to come right back. Oh, your daddy needs blah, 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 blah. Man, I've seen it way too many times. You're not a man, you're just a bitch. Claim yourself to be a father so you can gain access to your child's riches, something that they worked hard for. You just bust a random nut in some type of female. You was off there doing God knows what. Your child had to grow up 4 times faster than what they were supposed to. Then all of a sudden your child blows up because they had to be some type of Superman or Superwoman to move the family out the neighborhood. And here come your ass come along, talk about some, oh, I'm your daddy. Oh, give me some money. I've seen this happen way too many times, man. You're a poor excuse for a man. Poor excuse. Your child is supposed to be a child. You're supposed to store up riches for your sons and daughters. You're supposed to store up riches. Your son and daughter don't need to make millions of dollars to make your situation better. You're not a man if you're doing that nonsense. You're not a man. Your son and daughter doesn't have to. Your son and daughter doesn't have to. I mean, it's great if they want to. See, here's the thing. If they want to be on this superstar level, then cool, I can support that. Okay, cool. Hey, if my 2 little girls want to be a superstar, this, that, and the third, they want to be rich and famous, they want to be viral and all that other stuff, cool, I can support that. But that I'm not going to push that so they can change my situation. I'm creating, I got their, like this, I have their dreams in my hands. Let's rewind that. I have their little dreams in my hands. I have their two YouTube pages in my hands. I have their merchandise in my hands. How many of you fathers are doing that for your children? Do you fathers have your children's dream in your hands? Or you just out here just trying to bust a random nut? Have you fathers secured your children's dream? Have you even observed what your children like to do? Seriously, have you even observed what your children like to do? Have you observed? Have you seen, oh, my child likes to doing this? Have you invested in that? All you gotta do is look at your children. They gonna tell you what they like. Hopefully you're in your purpose and they can say, hey, dad, I like what you doing. Hey, let me, you got your platform. Hey, let's do this. Cause I got 2 YouTube channels myself. So of course I got my children's dreams in my hand also. And I'm still building it to this day. Even though they're back in Maryland, I'm here in Atlanta. Guess what? I'm still building their dream to this day. I'm still introducing people to my children's brand to this day. Once again, are you fathers doing that for your children? Seriously, are you fathers doing that for your children? Or is it all about you? See, gentlemen, we can't use the title of father when it benefits us. But when it's time to go to work, you know where to be found. Let me rewind that. We can't use the title of father when it benefits us. When you want somebody to appreciate you and do this for you, I'm going to use the title as father, but you did nothing to elevate your children. You didn't build a platform with your children. What you did was you handed them off to the next person. You handed them off to the teacher. You hand them off to this coach. You handed your seed off to somebody else so they can train your child. But come home, what you doing? Nothing. But then you got the nerve to call yourself a father? You got the nerve to call yourself a father. You pass your kids off to these people. You pass your kids off to them. You drop the kids off over here. You take kids over here. What are you creating with your children? Are you creating anything with your children? Listen, my two little girls, I got they their little name their little name matter of fact, well, this is how the story went. I had a shirt on because I can make merchandise too, and I had a shirt that had a character and it said "Be Great." It had a BGRA, and at the time, my youngest one, she was only 4 years old. She was like, "Daddy, why does he look mad?" Because I took the mascot from Georgia Tech, and I flipped it. I flipped. I had one of my little guys I contract in Indonesia flip it. Had his arms crossed, had a snarl on his face, and had a BGRA. And my youngest one, she was 4 at the time. She was like, "Dad," she gave me a hug and she said, "Be sweet," or something like that. 4 years old. She gave it to me. I had my little dude out there in Indonesia hook it up for me. Now here it is. My children got their own little. I trademarked their name. I trademarked their little name. 4 years old, she gave me the idea. I took it instead of me out here running after breast and big booty all day. I got to work. A couple months later after that, boom, we created created a YouTube channel. And once again, this is what I did I did that for them. They gave me the idea. My little one gave me the idea. I made characters. They got characters and everything. Still to this day, trademarked it. Then, decided to get it separated, from the X 3 years ago. Instead of out here chasing at the booty, big butt and breast with cute faces, I got to work. Shoot, within like 3 months, me and my babies, we cranked out like 70, 80 something videos. Listen, on a cell phone. Didn't have all this equipment, cameras and lights and all that stuff. I didn't have none of that stuff. I just had had a cell phone with the old school tripod. Man, listen, within like 3 months, we cranked out about good maybe 80 something, 90 something videos. Once again, that's what a father is supposed to do. Once again, you want to have the title of father, but you're not putting in that work to help your children grow. Hell, me and their mom decided to separate. I could have went on my merry way. Could have moved out the house, got an apartment, maybe across town somewhere. Could have been out here laying the pipe to all these different women. I could have been doing all this wild stuff. But no, I focused on them little ones. Because once again, a father lays up riches for his children. We create together. As I'm doing my thing, I was doing my YouTube channels. I got they stuff going on. My elders was asking me for months to create a YouTube channel. Dad, when we gonna create a YouTube channel? When we gonna create a YouTube channel? I did that for, gentlemen, I put that off for months and months and months. Then the youngest one gave me the idea, had the little characters made, actually for the little Christmas gift. For the little Christmas gift, had made 2 hoodies. I ain't gonna lie, no hoodies list. I made 2 hoodies. Had custom made hoodies, man. That man charged me $200. I'm like, for some hoodies, for some children's hoodies? Charged me $200 for some children's hoodies. But guess what? They got their own brand. They going to school. Listen, gentlemen, think about it. How many of your children right now are going to school with their own brand? Huh? How many of your children right now are going to school with their own brand? 8 and 6 years old. I didn't wait till they were 18 and 16. 8 and 6 years old, they're going to school with their own brand. They can go right now and tell their teacher, "Hey, teacher, we have over 100 plus." On one channel, they got over 100 plus videos, and another channel, their little gaming channel, they got another 30 plus videos for that. Be Sweet Sisters, by the way, that's their name, Be Sweet Sisters. Man, give them a hand. So you guys watching this on YouTube, it's the Be Sweet Sisters, man. The Be Sweet Sisters on YouTube. They got the Roblox channel, and they got a YouTube vlog channel. We still trying to keep it up, even though we're miles apart, but we still keeping it together. I gotta fix their the merchandise. I'm about to get that back up again. I had to fell back a little bit, but I'm about to get their merchandise back up again. But yeah, just received an email the other week that their trademark is actually going to be purchased. I mean, it's going to be published this month. Give them a hand. Their trademark, Be Sweet Sisters, is going to be trademarked. Just received an email like last week or 2 weeks ago. It's going to be published in July. I think like next week or something like that. So yeah, 8 and 6 years old. This is what I did for my children. This is what I did, gentlemen. Not telling my children that, once again, they got to be, I'm not putting the pressure on them to be some type of mega YouTube star. Oh, you got to go viral, and you got to be some type of YouTube celebrity. I know they do TikTok and stuff too. You got to be a YouTube celebrity so you can make dad's situation a better situation. Nah, that's not their responsibility. They are children. They are doing what children are supposed to do. I'm not them type of I'm not that type of guardian. I'm gonna put all this pressure on these 8 and 6 year old to be YouTube famous so they can put me up in a big house somewhere. No, that's not their responsibility. You don't put that type of pressure on your children to be famous and to do this and to go to somebody's NFL and somebody's NBA or Major League Baseball or hockey, whatever they want to do. Because once again, you're in a up situation. You don't care about the child. You're pushing them because you want them to get somewhere that you couldn't get to. Uh-oh. You're pushing your children because you're trying to get them to a place that you couldn't get to, or you didn't work hard enough to get to. Once again, we don't use our children to get us in places that we are supposed to get ourselves in. Hold on, let's rewind that. We don't use our children to get into places that we could have been in for ourselves. We don't do that. That's not a father. That's a parasite. You're a parasite, my friend. You don't use your children to get into doors that you didn't want to get into or you didn't want to work hard to get into. You don't use your children to do that. That's not a father. That's not a father. Now, granted, I've seen fathers, they might not have made the league or whatever professional league. And, I've seen, shout out to, what's what his name? LeVar Ball, his family, right? So he didn't get into the NFL, but of course, he trains his sons to get into the NBA. It is what it is. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not chastising anybody who trains their children, right? But you don't force your children. If your children want to go to the league or NBA, NFL, whatever league, or rapper, singer, entrepreneur, if they want to do that, then once again, you work with them. You don't force it on them, because I've seen too many fathers force this on their children. Then they turn around and want to play the guilt thing. I can't stand when fathers do that. You want to put this guilt thing on your own seed. Hey, son, daughter, you have to do X, Y, and Z because, I'm your daddy. If it wasn't for me, and I hate that. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for you what? You didn't plan on for me to come in here. You were just out here busting a random nut, bro. You didn't plan for me to come here. Let's be honest. Wasn't like you planned for me to come here. If you'd have planned for me to come here, then you should have had a plan you should have had a plan for me. If you planned for me to come here, then you should have had a plan for me. You should have had a platform already established for me. Matter of fact, you should already have a platform hold up, rewind that. You gentlemen should be operating in purpose regardless. Like I said before, a lot of you gentlemen put this pressure for your children to be somebody because you don't have a f***ing purpose for your damn self. You don't have a f***ing purpose for yourself. This is why you put pressure on your own seeds to be somebody. You don't even have a purpose for yourself. Way too many times I've seen fathers out here at these different sporting events and things of that nature. Children out here getting scolded, getting cursed at, and this, that, and the third, because you want your child to be the best player on the field, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hold up, let's rewind that. There's nothing wrong for you wanting your child to be the best, whatever, on whatever field, whatever they're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. But to a point, matter of fact, I was just playing basketball the other day. This man and his son was pretty nice. His son was like 10th grade. Cussing and cursing and stuff like that. I'm encouraged. Listen, the thing is, once again, this young man, I'm old enough to be his dad. But his own dad sitting here cussing him out, right? Because we playing 4-on-4, whatever it was. It was me, the dad, the young man, and was another young man playing. And his son, the young man's son, was pretty nice. Like, man, sure, he get in there, he getting some camps or something like that, and he getting some real training. He getting some real training. His son was nice. He was getting buckets and everything. I'm like, yo, he has some potential. See, and then his dad out there just cursing him out. You motherfucking dad, some motherfucking dad, and you sorry motherfucking dad. I'm like, what? This is your own daddy. You see this man every single day, and this motherfucker. You sorry motherfucker. You see, you can't dribble. See out there doing that sorry motherfucker. I'm like, what? That's not my son. I'm like, I'm sitting there, I'm giving him the ball. I'm like, yes, young man, go ahead, score that basket. Every time he get the ball, I'm encouraging, man, take him to the hole. You got him. He was playing another young man. The other young man was pretty nice. But I'm like, man, go at him. I don't care if you go to the same school, the rivalry school, man, go at him. Bust him. I'm encouraging this young man to get busy. And his own daddy sitting there cussing him out. Calling your own son sorry. Oh, my son is trash and this, that, and the third. Once again, this young man has to live with this every single day. You don't think that those words are not penetrating his entire being? You don't think those words are affecting him? He's sitting and walking around with low self-esteem because his daddy's saying, you ain't no good, you ain't this, you ain't that, you trash, and blah, blah, blah. But you got somebody that don't even know you that's encouraging you to get busy? That's wrong. That's wrong. Oh, my son has to deny, man. Listen, encourage your children. That's why I tell gentlemen all the time, encourage your children to be the greatest version of them. Let's rewind that. Encourage your children to be the greatest version of them. I know coming up, fathers, since you got sons, you want them to play something physical. You want them to be manly man. You want them to go out here and put on some football pads or basketball, play sports or something like that. Gentlemen, why not just invest in your children? See, and introduce some things. See, if you were walking in your purpose, then you could you could open up your child to your world. But a lot of you gentlemen don't even have purpose, so you can't open your child up to shit, man. You can't open your child up to a motherfucking thing because you're not walking in your purpose. But then you want to be called a father. You want to be called a man. How, sir? What is your purpose in this world, my friend? Do you have a purpose? Do you have a SOP? Do you have a standard for your life? Do you have a vision? No, then what the do you want this? Who are you leading, my friend? Who are you leading? How do you have a household? How do you have a household and you don't even have a purpose? You have done no soul searching, but you created a family. You yourself are not leading it because you don't have your own purpose. Then I hate when men, I hate when men talk about back in the day. Oh, back in the day, man, back when I was your age, man, I was getting them boys with like 45 points a game and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, shut the up, man. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear back in your day. What's happening? Matter of fact, what is happening today? Huh? If you're not giving them 45 points today, you probably wasn't doing that back in the day. Man, I can't stand that, man. Talk about what happened back in the day. Yeah, I can talk about back in my military days. I could talk about I went to Iraq. That's like me telling my children, hey, kids, you need to be millionaires because your daddy went to Iraq in 2004, so you can have this house. So my children are obligated to be millionaires because I went to Iraq in 2004 for my kids. Hell, I haven't seen so-called fathers blame their children for being in the up situation they're in now. And if I
never had your kids, man, I still be doing X, Y, and Z, man. I had an opportunity to go with Trevor and them boys overseas to play professional basketball. If I ain't had your kids, man, I'd have been over there. I'd have been a musician, man. I'd have been on stage with Michael Jackson, man. I was professional. Your daddy was good with the saxophone. Your daddy was good on the drums. But nah, man, you see, your mama had them kids, and instead of me traveling the world with the Miles Davis, man, I had to stay back in Cincinnati and raise you kids.
And I've heard this way too many times. You're putting the blame on your children because you out here want to bust a hot nut. You didn't have discipline. If you knew you were trying to travel, if you knew you were trying to get to somewhere, why would you be reckless like that, my friend? Why would you do this? Why would you put that seed into that female, knowing you were heading somewhere, but you didn't have that discipline enough to not put that seed into that female? All of a sudden, you blaming your kids for your decisions. So it's your son or daughter's fault that you put your seed into this female, or you could have put it into several females. I've seen that too. Oh, I had an opportunity to do this. I had an opportunity. Well, why didn't you do it, my friend? Why didn't you do it? What happened to your so-called penis discipline? You didn't have discipline? Why didn't you have this discipline? Why? And now you're mad at this your son or daughter because of a decision that you made? I've heard it all, gentlemen. I heard it all, man. We got to stop that immediately. I've seen older generations do that, man. That's not right. You don't put the blame on your children for the situation that you are in. Too many worthless men, too many men with no purpose walking around here making children. How is this possible? Why? Want to put the blame on everybody else, but don't look at your motherfucking self. How is that possible? How is it everybody else's fault but your own for the situation that you put yourself in? I'm here in Atlanta because I decided to be here. I'm 100% retired from the military because that's the situation that I chose, back in 2000. Decisions that I made 20 years ago are affecting not only myself, but affecting my children also. So I can't blame the man. I can't blame Bertha across the street. I can't blame anybody else but myself for the choices that I made. That's what a real man does. Give yourself a hand. A real man points at himself and says, no, I'm the one. I'm the creator of my reality. And if I've created a mess, then that's on me. Has nothing to do with children, has nothing to do with the government, has nothing to do with no church, no job, no career. Whatever situation that I put myself into is the situation I put myself into. I didn't want to change, so a change didn't happen. Hold up, let's rewind that. I didn't change my mindset, so things outwardly didn't change for me. I tell gentlemen all the time, you have to be the change in order to see the change. In order to see a change, you have to be the change. Because nothing changes if nothing changes. Don't point the finger at nobody but your motherfucking self and say, no, it's all me. Whatever situation that you find yourself in today, my friend, that's all on you. It's time. Stop pointing the fingers. Stop pointing the fingers. If you out here putting seeds into all these different women and your children, your son or daughter decides to be something and decides to better themselves because they were in a up situation that they had to be a 16-year-old but doing 35-year-old things. And if they make it, don't come back around with your hand out. No, 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 no. Stay in that up situation that you've always been in and stay there. Stay there. You wanted to be there, stay right there. Don't come around with your hand out saying, oh, son or daughter, please give me X, Y, and Z. No, 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 no. They don't owe you a thing. Don't use the title as father trying to gain access to some type of wealth. Nah. You were out there doing God knows what because you're worthless, because you still don't have a purpose. You're worthless. You don't have a standard for your life, and you certainly don't have a vision for your life, so you're worthless. You're putting your worthless seeds in these different females. Seen this too many times. You man want to put all this worthless seeds in all these different females, then you want to dip out here and do whatever you want to do. Then all of a sudden, one of those kids that you brought into this world, it ends up being somebody. And here comes your talking about some. Oh,
Hey, son. Hey, I'm your daddy. I sent you that Christmas card when you were like 2 years old. I sent you that Christmas card when you were 2 years old. You remember me? Hey, son, do you remember me? I'm your daddy.
man, I don't know who you are, homie. Never seen you. I seen you. I heard too many stories. These young men, young ladies talking about. Oh, I seen this man that called himself father. I seen him like 3 times in my life. And yes, there are some men out there. Of course, there's some women out here doing some crazy stuff. So I'm not going to. Yeah, there's always a balance. Yeah, there's some fathers that want to see the children, but some of these women are acting crazy. So yeah, I get that part. But shoot, coming up back in the day, man, hell. Shoot, like I said, I was born in '81. I've seen plenty of cats back in the '80s having all types of babies and rolling out. I've seen that. That was happening at an all-time high. Damn near 30 something, 40 years ago. Probably before that. Probably before came to this world. Now, once again, I'm not here to chastise anybody, but gentlemen, once again, we can't keep using these excuses. Can't use excuse every time somebody wants to shine a light on you as a man. You're supposed to be a man. Somebody wants to, as a father, you want to sit there, you want to come, and you want to point the finger out what your children doing. You didn't, blah blah blah. But as soon as that child shine a light back on you, all of a sudden you get defensive and blah 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 and all this, and you must sit there and cry. Oh, this and you don't understand, blah blah. Man, listen, nobody want to hear that no more. Nobody wants to hear that no more. Shoot, I can't point my fingers at my 8 and 6-year-old and say, "Oh, babies, it's your fault X, Y, and Z." Nah, man, nah. That's all on me. Whatever situation that I'm in, it's a situation that I put myself in. That situation be good, bad, or ugly. That's the situation that I put myself in. I can't point the finger at my 2 little girls and say, "Oh, babies, it's your fault X, Y, and Z." Put that guilt on them. I hate that, man. I hate when men try to play that guilt nonsense on their children. I hate that with a passion. You fathers don't put that type of guilt on your children. They have to do X, Y, and Z. No, my friend, all that pressure for them. You trying to put that pressure on them? You should have put that You should have put that pressure on your hold on a second. Well, yeah, you should put that pressure on your damn self. All that pressure, trying to pressure them to do this and pressure them to do this and pressure them to be famous and pressure them to sign this deal, to pressure. You got young men and young women out here, teenagers, making grown adult decisions. Because once again, this young man or young woman has to do what daddy's supposed to do. I'm gonna say it again. These young, especially young men out here making grown ass decisions. You 16 years old, you making a decision that a 36-year-old should be making. Because this 16-year-old has to play your part. All this pressure to go to this school, and your son got a talent, and he got all this pressure. Why does a teenager have that much pressure? Why? I gotta get my mama and my brothers and sisters out of this situation. Why does that child have to get your mom and brothers and sisters out that up situation? Why? Where was your daddy at? Huh? Where's your daddy at? I've seen it way too many times. Now, all of a sudden, your son got his name in the newspaper, or that back in the day, the newspaper. Now, your son might go viral. Your son might be on I don't know, on a commercial or something like that. Here come your punk ass daddy. Well, hey son, this, that, and the third. Man, listen, nobody want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. But once again, I'm about to shut my mouth, man. I want to shut my mouth, man. Yeah, that's my show, man. That's my show. I can keep going on, but man, give yourself a hand. Gentlemen, we have to change the narrative. We have to change the narrative quick, fast, in a hurry. Because it's not these. I'm not pointing the finger at these women no more. You men need to have a purpose, a SOP, a standard of operations and procedures. You men need to have a vision for your life, before you start making families. Before you before you make a baby, you need to have a purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, it's what your dream is. Whatever you dream of doing, that's your purpose. There's something inside of you that you want to do. That's what you're here for. That's your purpose. Now, I don't care if anybody in your society is not doing it. You're supposed to do it. And if you're doing it and the people in your quote unquote community, your society doesn't support it, then you need to move. It's just that simple. I did it myself. I would never have thought about doing a podcast and YouTube channels that I'm still sitting up back in upstate New York somewhere. But I had to move away from all these people. I had to move. Come down here to Atlanta to start a new reality, to create something new. Still got my children, still got their stuff. I told you, gentlemen, my children are off and running. So now we trying to make some connections. It's really gonna be cracking. But once again, I'm not pushing my children to be famous because I want them to put me in a better situation. No, I do that for myself. And I have them with me. So as I'm coming up, we all of us are coming up together. I'm not gonna push my children to, hey babies, do this and do that, and please, and put all this unnecessary pressure on an 6-year-old. Because I want them to put me in a situation that I couldn't put myself into. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. You don't put that pressure on your children to do X, Y, and Z because you want them to get you in a situation that you refuse to put yourself into. Let's be honest. You refuse to put yourself into. You blamed everybody else but yourself. You blamed everybody else. You blamed everybody in the garbage man. Hell, you probably even blamed the cat down the street. My bad. You blamed everybody else for the situation that you're in now. You blamed everybody, but you refuse to look at yourself, and this is why you're not moving. You will never move, my friend, until you put the blame on yourself. Change your mindset. It's your fault. It's your fault. Start saying it. Yes, it's my fault. It is my fault. I am here because it's my fault. I'm in a situation because it's my fault. I chose to be here. I chose to be comfortable. I chose not to work hard. I chose not to do this. I chose not to do that. I chose not to study. I chose not to do whatever. I don't care how old you are. You are where you are because you chose to be there. Oh, sorry about that. You chose to be there. You are where you are because you chose to be there. Stop blaming some boogeyman and this person and some system, this, that. No, you are where you are because you chose to be there. You are the operator. And you chose to operate and to do some whatever stuff you were doing. My friend, you chose to be there. Whatever circumstances and whatever things are coming your way, my friend, you chose to be there. It is not nobody's fault. It's not your children's fault. Once again, it's not anybody's fault but yourself. Stop blaming your society. Stop blaming your community. No, my friend, your choices is where you are. You chose to be there, and that's where you'll be. Now, when you change your mindset, then hey, then things outside you will change. It will cause you to change. When things happen, when internally, when you see things differently, then things outwardly have to match what's going on the inside. Once the change happens within, everything on the outside has to change. But don't blame anybody if nothing changes, because you haven't changed. Don't blame your children, especially don't blame your children. It's not your children's fault. You should have had a purpose before those kids came into this world. You should have been operating in your purpose, my friend. You should have had a standard for your life. And you should have had a vision of where you were going before those kids even came here. You should have had that already mapped out. You should have had that. Because I tell you, once again, I'm going to say this, I'm going to shut my mouth. A man without a purpose is really a dangerous man. You're a tool. You're going to be a tool. Let's rewind that. A man without a purpose is a tool. And you're a tool to be used by anybody who wants to use you. So you don't have a purpose? Cool. Somebody's going to use you, of course, because you got sperm. Great. Hey, nice strapping young man. Cool. Let's get that seed about you. You're going to be used for anybody and everybody. This is how all this crime and stuff is going on in the streets, because you got a lot of men with no purpose. No purpose. Especially you have no father in the home. Yeah. Because he didn't have a purpose. So once again, how is a man with no purpose going to raise a children to have a purpose? Doesn't make sense now, does it? You have the seed. You don't have a purpose. You put that worthless seed into a female, and you're going to bring in what? Worthless children to this world? So you are a tool, and what you think is going to happen to your children? They're going to become a tool as well. Anyways, man, that's my time. Hey, once again, appreciate everybody coming through. Hey, if you guys, once again, you guys watching on YouTube, hey, you guys see my merchandise, www.1247clothing.org. That is my merchandise line. Also, PayPal. If you're watching YouTube, you guys can see it. Donate to my PayPal. If you're listening on Spotify and Anchor, Cash App is $1247 Clothing Company. PayPal is the @SIMON 1247. Once again, I just want you fathers. I want to scold you guys, but once again, we had to change the narrative ASAP. We have to change that narrative. Stop blaming everybody. It's not your responsibility. It's not your children's responsibility to put you in a better situation. You are not a man if you're doing that. Let's rewind that again. If you're trying to get your children to put you in a better situation that you yourself didn't do for yourself, you're not a man. Don't talk about being a man. I don't care. Once again, I don't care how much vagina you get. Because it's funny because what I've heard coming up that the more vagina you get, the more of a man you are. So the more vagina you get, the more of a man you are. And I've heard this from many men when I was coming up. Not about building, not about producing, not about being purpose, not having a standard for your life, not having a vision. It's about how many women you have. Excuse me. The more women you have, the more manly you are. And that type of mindset is a man who's already been defeated. If your worth comes in by the amount of women you have, you're not a man. I'm going to say that again. I don't care. Listen, if you're not, once again, a man with no purpose, don't talk to me about how many women you have. I don't even want to have that conversation. I had one friend. He was always talking about these women this and these women that. But bro, what's your purpose? What are you producing? What you got going on? What's your business looking like? What are you creating? What's going on with you? But now you want to talk about, I don't smash 15 girls this weekend. Dude, I don't give a excuse me, hold on. I don't give a about none of that. What are you producing, my friend? How are you making your society, your community better? Are you creating something different? What are you doing with yourself? You out here just smashing Lisa and Loranda all day? Okay, cool. So what are you creating? Are you doing anything with yourself? But you want to brag about how many females you see? Okay, anyways, man, I'm done. Man, listen, that's my time. I appreciate it. Once again, give yourself a hand. That just came to my head today. I had to get that out to especially fathers out there, man. It's not your responsibility. It's not your children's responsibility to put you in a place that you should have been for yourself. If you wanted to be famous, you should have put yourself there. If you wanted to be this, that, and the third, you should have put yourself there. That's not your child's responsibility. And once again, there's nothing wrong with training your child. If your child wants to be in somebody's league, cool, do what you need to do. But once again, do not put that pressure and do not say to them, they need to be in somebody's this because, I did this for you. I did that for you. I can't stand that. You don't never put that type of pressure. You don't never gaslight your child for them to do something for you that you should have done for yourself. If you wanted to be famous, you should have did that for yourself. If you wanted to be in somebody's league, you should have did it for yourself. You wanted to go viral, you should have did it for yourself. You want to have sponsorships and collaboration deals and all these music or whatever, you should have did it for yourself first. That's not your child's responsibility. That's not your child's responsibility. That's yours. And even to this day, that's still your responsibility. It's still not your son or daughters. So whatever they have, that's what they had. That's what they work for. It is what it is. I'm speaking from experience. You guys cannot agree and, this and that. Somebody, no, listen, your child don't owe you a mother thing. Stop using that old. Anyways, I'll be here another 2 more hours talking about this, man. It's not once again, it's not your child's responsibility to put you in a place where you should have been in the first place. Once again, your children, you're supposed to create the platform. Your children get on the platform and they go higher and higher. How is it me as a father? Think about it. I'm 41 years old. How is it that I'm supposed to, once again, my oldest is 8, my youngest is 6. So I'm supposed to jump on a 8 and a 6-year-old's back so they can put me in a place that I could have been in for myself? Think about it. I'm going to jump. I'm 41. I'm I'm 200 something pounds. I'm gonna jump on an 8-year-old's back and tell my 8-year-old, hey, baby, you need to be famous because I'm your daddy. And I went to Iraq in 2000 and 2004 because to serve the country, and I did this because I did this and I did that. I joined the military and I did this and I did that. So now you owe me. I seen way too many parents do that, telling their children oh, you owe me something. Really? Now I see a whole bunch of other mediocre people jump on that bandwagon. Well, you owe your daddy something. No, your daddy raised you, bunch of cowards. I don't want to hear that. All of you in that same mediocre coward boat. Nobody wants to hear that. You're just a bunch of cowards. Oh, your daddy, blah blah blah. Man, I don't want to hear none of that stupid shit, man. Get the away from me with that coward nonsense. You may not hear chasing big breasts and big butt all day, but when it's time to get to work, you know where to be found. And all of a sudden, your quote unquote child or nephew or little cousin, somebody does something. Here comes all you cowards. Talk about some we family and I took care when you were 2 years old. I changed your diaper. I don't give a man. I'm supposed to feel bad. I'm supposed to feel a certain way because you took care of me when I was little. Okay, so what happened? What happened today? What have you been doing? What are you doing now? What are you doing now to get to that certain level that you want to be? What are you doing? You're not doing anything. So what the you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do about it? Oh, this and all that. See, this is why, gentlemen, you got to move away from the mediocrity. You gotta listen, people that with the mediocrity, gaslighting, woe is me type nonsense. Gentlemen, cut that off, man. I cut it off. I don't care. I don't give a anymore who feels what about anything. I don't give a You got grown ass people crying and snotting and doing this. But you sitting up in your mediocrity, you sitting up in your comfort all day doing nothing. But once again, when somebody from this society does something, all you parasites want to jump on their bandwagon, and they're supposed to. And this person is supposed to be a damn titan. This person's supposed to pull the whole society, the whole community out. Guys, a bunch of dead weight. Dead weight. And I'm supposed to come with my ideas. And I went to work, I went to war, I did all these different things, working hard. Here comes all you dead weight people. Now you trying to jump on the bandwagon. Oh, well, I'm your so-and-so. I don't give a about none of that. That's great. What were you doing before I got to this place? What were you doing before? What were you? Yeah. What were you doing? What were you doing? Oh, you sitting up in your neighborhood, you were sitting up here doing absolutely not a motherfucking thing. Now, all of a sudden, here you might see me on the news. All of a sudden, now you want to call me to say what? Oh, we family? Man, get the out of my face. You were comfortable, you were doing nothing, you were still going to do nothing. And guess what? I'm not going to do nothing for you. That's what you children should say. These jokers come to you with that nonsense, man. Man, get out my face, bro. We ain't none of that. Care about that stuff, man. Keep working hard, man. You kids out there, keep working hard. Keep working hard. Had to get out these fathers real quick, man. Don't put that nonsense that you want to guilt somebody to do something for you. What kind of? Listen, think about it, man. I swear I'm about to shut up, man. I swear I'm trying to shut up, man, but more things keep coming to my head. All this, think about it, the coward mentality. You have to be so much of a coward to come to a younger generation to jump on their bandwagon to get you to the place that you didn't want to get to? Let's rewind that. You had to be so much of a coward to go to a younger generation and gaslight them to make them feel bad for you because you were defeated. You got the defeated mindset. They didn't. They didn't see the world as you seen it. You were defeated from whatever reason. You were defeated back in I don't care about 1967. I don't care about that. You still carrying something from 1967 and it's 2023? But you gonna go to the younger generation and be like, oh, well, X, Y, and Z and gaslighting me and I'm your daddy, I'm your big uncle, cousin, this, that, and the third. So what do you want me to do right now? So you want me to do what? I worked hard to get to this certain position. You want to remind me of something that happened 35 years ago and I'm supposed to feel bad? Oh, remember back in 1987? Dude, I don't remember that man. So what you want me to do about it now? You want me to do what? So what you been doing from the last time you see me in 87 to 2023? What have you been doing, my friend? What have you been doing? Didn't hear from you, did nothing, none of this, none of that, and all of a sudden you want me to do what now? Anyways, man. Now I'm really gone, man. Give me some hand. Just had to throw that out there, man. You guys, younger females, but you younger guys out there, man. Shut that stuff down, man. You work hard. Don't let anybody gaslight you. Don't let anybody make you feel bad, and don't make anybody trying to guilt you and this, that, and the third. These people not trying to move. These people not moving with you, man. Move away from them. That works. If these people are not moving with you, then move away from them. One more time. Hey man, that's my show. 1247 The Great One, man. Father with a Dream. Starting over Father with a Dream podcast. Man, you guys have a good one. I'm out. Peace.